Yeah, hopefully I don't get it too. Probably gonna get it too. Hope it's good once I learn about the thank gosh on that.
Well, I would like to say,
Yeah, I can do that.
well, I would like to say overall, in terms of this series right here, I'm really am glad that you came up with this kind of idea in the first place, Bar. Especially since right here, we have known you for years, even before we first started talking about it.
Well, that is true. I mean, I have known you for quite a while, Daniel. But out of everybody in this group, I believe the person that I've known the longest that's in this group, I believe is Nick. Because I've known him since like 2011 or 2012. And then I first met Endman, I believe a couple of years or so after that.
Also, Pokemon Battle, again.
I think you may be right on that for what you're saying, Mark. I know that you have been friends with Ned for a long time, and same with N64.
I've also been...
I also do know as well, right here, that you have been friends with Frank for a long time as well.
Exactly.
Okay, so because I really had a Pokemon Battle here, let's see how things go. Because considering everything,
Dizzy dancing.
okay, yeah, at least we're not doing baseball.
And if I remember correctly, Mark, I think you have been friends with Frank for a while too, haven't you?
Yeah, since, I believe since 2016? Either 2015 or 2016. I don't quite remember, but I know it has been a while. What I do remember though, regarding Frankie, is him being a fan of two big things. One, being classic Sesame Street. Two, retro games.
Well, I do love me some retro games, especially when it comes to
Yeah. And actually and from what I remember, I believe out of all the big video game franchises, from what I remember, I believe his favorite one, from what I remember, I think was Crash Bandicoot.
Also, Super Mario 63, and also, I love Crash Bandicoot, but I believe last year, like, I saw it in a Crash, don't get me wrong. But sometime last year was when I was actually interested in playing the Spyro grading games via Reignited Trilogy. And despite the fact that I grew up with Crash more than with Spyro, I actually like Spyro more than I do with Crash.
Yeah.
So, also Golden Pipe.
Now,
I do have a chance at that kind of item, but I'm not feeling very confident here, especially since I'm not a big person talking about saying.
well, I mean, a curse block's not too bad. Now, I should also... Now, as for my favorite game franchises, well, obviously number one for me is Mario. Pokemon would probably be number two. But there's also another big game franchise that Daniel knows that I like a lot as well. And, yeah, now if you remember, Daniel, I believe... From what I remember, I believe the first Sonic game that I remember playing, I think was Sonic Adventure on, which was years ago, on the original Dreamcast version. At least that's what I remember. But I think the one where I really got into Sonic the most was when I played Sonic Unleashed. And playing that game, even though I never finished it, was what really got me into Sonic the Hedgehog.
I love Sonic Unleashed. I will say, and also it's understandable because animals want coins here. But yeah, Sonic Unleashed, it was definitely a very good Sonic game. I believe the very first Sonic game I played was probably Sonic 2. Sonic 2. the Sega Genesis, the Sega Genesis, and Sonic Unleashed blew me away. Like, that game really blew me away. I love the game storyline, and so to those who play Sonic Unleashed, please do yourself a favor and play it, especially the Wii and PS2 version.
And speaking of Sonic Unleashed, that was actually a new game I got this past month on also. I was wondering if someone that was able to get it and everything.
You got the Nintendo Wii version from what I remember seeing in the video.
From the game too.
Yeah, from what I remember, Daniel, from what I remember seeing in the video, you got the Nintendo Wii version.
Yeah, that is and basically when I did get that game, it didn't come in a normal 50 box right here, but I want to plan on doing this one of these days where I order a replacement cover for the game, right here, whatever that's possible right here. I think that's kind of thing that happened when I first had Super Smash Bros. Melee, when I got my first game. And shortly after, when I actually get the cover for the game, or the box right here,
Yeah. Now, and I think the first Sonic game that I remember beating was Sonic Colors. Not the version on the Nintendo Wii, even though I believe I still have that one. It was on the Nintendo DS version where I first beat that game, believe it or not.
oh, interesting.
Yeah, and then, as I'm sure Daniel also knows, I then ended up beating the game again a second time when they re-released it a few years ago as Sonic Colors Ultimate.
More like Sonic Colors Ultimate Disaster.
Well, yeah, I mean, they did kind of rush it out. I'm not going to disagree about that. But I still liked playing it.
I mean, don't get me wrong. The people who prefer Sonic Colors Ultimate over the Wii original, well, good for them. But for me, I still prefer the Wii original because one, it's an overall better package, and two, you have more than one save file.
Yeah. And then...
So that is why the Wii original is better.
Yeah. And...
I also do remember seeing your Let's Play of Sonic Colors idea that you did on your channel a while back.
Yeah, from what I remember, I believe I did that one on the Nintendo Switch version.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure Mark is right because and even then, the PS4 and other versions are quote unquote better. And I put that in major quotes because Sonic Colors Ultimate on PS4 and other platforms run at 60 frames per second, unlike the Switch version, the Switch 1 version anyway, where the Switch 1 version runs at 30. I mean, granted, the original Sonic Colors ran at 30 as well.
Yeah.
But anyways, also I'm gonna be surprised if Daniel was where I'm at.
Yeah. Now, another thing I will also point out, while the Nintendo DS version of Sonic Colors may not look visually as good as the other versions, I still enjoyed playing that one.
Sonic Colors on the DS. So a lot of Sonic fans agrees that the DS version is better. It has better writing, compared to the Wii original. But
And
I still thought both versions were good.
yeah, and on the now of course on the DS version, like they have some of the voice acting, but not all of it because of cartridge size limitations. Whereas on the Nintendo Wii version, not only are the visuals better on that one, but all the voice acting is also obviously on that version as well. And I do have to point out, I mean, I know, like, some people give a lot of flack to voice acting on modern Sonic games, but I like the voice acting they had in Sonic Colors.
I don't know. I mean, I have a bias, don't get me wrong, but I have like a certain bias towards the 4K voice cast, and I don't mean they are the best voice cast that Sonic has ever had, besides Indie Talent, because I thought Indie Talent was not very good as Tails, because Tails I'm a little girl.
Yeah.
But, you know,
I heard some people out there say that it didn't fit in very well on my character. So basically, it definitely made it better satisfying.
Yeah, now well, I was about to say something else, but first off, let's welcome Craig S986 Entertainment to the 100 episode celebration. Alright, Craig, welcome aboard. Glad you could make it to the party.
literally.
Alright, oh, I know what I was starting to say. Diego. Well, good thing Dominic used his mushroom. Now, the next thing I was starting to say regarding Sonic, Daniel, another Sonic game that I do remember beating also was when I played Sonic Forces on the PlayStation 4. And from what I remember, I had beaten that game, I believe, a couple of days or so before departing on a trip to Japan.
Also, first on you, Sonic Forces, in my opinion, is terrible. And secondly, it makes sense as to why Mark beats Sonic Forces, because that game is painfully easy and painfully mediocre, and trust me, Sonic Forces is one of the most hated Sonic games of all time, and I am not kidding. I literally hate Sonic Forces.
I didn't think it was that bad, but that's just my opinion.
I respectfully disagree, Mark, on your opinion. I respectfully disagree, but let's just say, at least for right now, I'll probably say the rant on in a future video. But let me just say that Sonic Forces I just think is beyond terrible and quite possibly one of the worst Sonic games of all time, other than Sonic 06. But with that being said, I could steal coins from Mark by considering that he had to give away half his coins to Bowser. I don't want to add insult to injury. And Luke is deadly out of the question, considering he has 8 coins. So I'm sorry, Daniel, but you gotta give me your coins, good sir.
Yeah.
I
mean,
it's fine.
I mean.
Even though I heard that it's a terrible game from many Sonic fans out there.
I mean, if Dominic, if Dominic wants to disagree with my own opinion of Sonic Forces, then you know what, then that's fine. I mean, everybody's entitled to their own opinion.
I think the Pokemon battle space I think every single Pokemon battle space has been landed on.
Yeah. And yes, Nick is also here now with us for the 100 episode celebration. Nick, welcome aboard. Yeah, so Nick, you came in during a discussion of some of the best and worst Sonic the Hedgehog games. Yeah.
But in regards to the Sonic voice acting, like I said, I have a certain bias because, you know, the Broken Boys cast, you know, I just not really that good. That's not really, you know, like I said, but, you know, it's just, I remember back in the day, you know, a lot of Sonic fans,
No!
a lot of people said that the Broken Boys cast, it was terrible, and I definitely disagree, you know, with those Sonic fans. I don't feel good Lord.
Oh, I got a tie with Luke because I was able to get my love letter turned in at the last second. GG there, Luke.
Yeah, GG all the same. But, you know, at least got one coin out of it, something worse. But, you know, I thought Jason Griffiths was good as Sonic, as well as Jet and Shadow, believe it or not, along with other stuff, you know. But it's just, Amy Talon as Tails, like I said, just sounds too much like a girl. And that's why, all those years back, I thought Tails was a girl until some person said, no, Tails is a boy. At first, I didn't really believe him until that one episode, until there's Sonic X, where, you know...
Uh-oh! Well, Daniel, as if Dominic taking your coins for Boo wasn't bad enough.
Yeah, I'll admit, everything over here for that lady.
I'll admit, if I would have known, Daniel, the center was at the one state, I probably would have stolen coins from Mark, but too late now.
Yeah. And...
On my previous card, that was the kind of thing was I stayed on my well, of course, because I didn't have too much fun with me.
Well, thankfully, Daniel, the game's not over. You can still build that back up.
But, you know, Sonic Forces aside, you know, yeah, then we have stuff like Sonic 06. And, well, we all know how broken of a mess that game is, you know. And heck, I know I'm going to get a lot of flack or whatever in the comment section, probably more than likely. But I don't care. I'll go as far as to say that I think Sonic 06, the funny saying about the Sonic Forces aside thing, I'll go as far as to say that I gotta play Sonic 06 and Sonic Forces because at least Sonic 06 and those are actually fun to play, despite the glitchiness and stuff. While Sonic Forces, on the other hand, the level design in Sonic Forces, it's just the level design is not good on that game because it's mainly a straight line, and that's why I would rather play Sonic 06 and Sonic Forces because someone were to point a goal in my head or whatever, saying, "Oh, big game for 96." And you have to either play Sonic 06 or Sonic Forces. If you don't play any of those games, two games of Big Game 96, you're gone. And then, you know, I would play Sonic 06 in a pretty instant. I'm sorry.
So, some things that I do about is that basically in terms of baby franchises that Frank but yeah, I definitely love where you have stuff like Unfriended, Fight the Time, and show how much that of my favorite baby franchises out there. Of course, in Mario and Sonic there. It basically it's a set first off on my profile picture for those of you who haven't seen my channel. And I think for me as well. I did say those kinds of games can be very, very fun. And Splatoon as well, as those are great shooters. And there's kinds of franchises that involve Mario there as well that I really enjoy.
Yeah.
Personally, a lot. Basically, there's the Mario and Sonic the Olympic Games series out there that I've really loved the ball for years, but it really sucks that none of those games are ever getting made anymore due to the NFTs that happen. But I also am definitely very much into Mario Kart and Smash as well.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that they decided to do away with Mario and Sonic at the Olympics in favor of NFTs was pretty stupid. And speaking of stupid things, Daniel, wait until you hear this. So, I was recording a game of 5th grader back to school edition for the Wii a few days ago for my birthday special, which you'll see on Tuesday, by the way. Without giving too much away, let's just say there were some shenanigans at the end.
Yeah, that makes sense right there for what you just had to bring up right there. But, yeah, it's definitely the right thing to do to just not give away too much, since it, of course, has not aired yet.
Well, not at the time of recording, anyway.
Well, and yeah, basically, to those who does not know me, in the series I'm into, are Sonic and Mario. I like Sonic more than I do with Mario, but I'm still a fan of those franchises. I do like Kirby. Yeah, I do like Kirby. Smash, Xenoblade Chronicles, a little bit of the first game in that particular franchise. And Mega Man and several others. But the main one I get super into is the Persona franchise. Like, that series means a lot to me.
Well, good thing I rolled that 7. And so Nick, what would your favorite video game franchise be?
That's kind of a hard question because I love a lot of video game franchises, but for me, I always have a big soft spot for Sonic and Mario because, Mario's always been, a weird friend of yours as a kid, so Mario will probably be my favorite franchise, but I also, just like Dominic, I'm also a big Sonic fan as well, and of course, I also really like Kirby as well, so those are probably like my top 3.
And although I wasn't a fan of the Kirby series until I believe sometime last year when I played Kirby in the Forgotten Land for the first time, I love that game so much. That's probably one of my favorite video games on the Switch by far. On the Switch 1 by far is what I mean. And I know looking forward to improving on the additional story content. Now I'm going to have such a great blast, especially considering the fact that, we're going to be able to at 60 frames per second compared to 30.
Alright.
And also more functions.
Oh, no! Oh, shoot! No! I pressed the wrong button!
So, okay. Okay, I wasn't originally going to say. Okay, I was originally going to say something like, okay, I'm not ranking about or trying because Mark has this one in the bag.